copies of The Hobbit. Not because they're different, because I wanted the different cover arts. This is one of the oldest ones, and you can clearly see I've read this book a lot. And it being a soft cover, I've had to take a lot of care of it to make it not super fucked up. So, and then the other book, I can read. I could probably read this entire book in a day. Not even joke, like literally in a day. Not like speed reading. Like, let me just do it random. Not like when I sat down again, my mind was clear, and then
you're
the
still
time
at
that
the game
the few words
category,
came.
I think.
You know? Yeah, well, it's because we are gaming. I just started on a random side tangent when you guys came in. Like we're in the middle of a mission on Cyberpunk right now, but I want to get assessed. Somehow my parents didn't notice I was bullied, and one of the biggest parts about the assessment process is talking to your family about your childhood. How is that supposed to be possible when I'm broke? And the family that they would need to talk to, like my parents, didn't realize that I was bullied and most of my life was pretty and shit. Like they and ODD being a common misdiagnosis of ASD, while I also have ADHD, which is known to be on the spectrum. It just like for safety and clarity of mind, I would like to know, because I know I don't have a ODD, but I get treated like I do. And there was a point in time in my life when I was a fucked up homeless crackhead that I was manipulative. But I mean, like survival, that shit changes you. It really does. And I hate the person I was, bro. Like me being able to just be here, like me, the person you see now is like a shattered version of who I was before the crack. I'm still getting like the fact that I have trading cards is there. Oh, I'm sorry. I mentioned trading cards in that. Someone walked up to me when I was at the LGS today, the local game store, and they just asked if I wanted this. And I'm like, sure, are you trying to trade or how much are you wanting? He's like, no, I'm asking, do you want this? I'm like, I mean, yeah, but like, what do you want in return? He's like, no, just take it. I'm like, okay. He gave me, I don't even know how many cards, bro. It's at least 60. It's because I know it's about as thick as my standard deck if it was unsleeved.
Thylao Platypus says, the ADHD is strong tonight.
I was telling my sister-in-law earlier today, you can tell on stream when my ADHD meds wear off, because the second they start wearing off, I just start yapping. I literally just start yapping immediately. But I'm comfortable in this environment. In real life, I'm really socially awkward, and a lot of times I can read between the lines, but only if I've been exposed to what's between the lines enough and in specific context. But for my problem,
my cousin was like that. A friend of mine is like that.
Yeah.
I understand.
But my biggest problem with reading between the lines isn't the fact that I don't know what's there. It's the fact that there's too many things there. Like someone might say something with some innuendo or some insinuation attached to it. But I'm thinking of every possible insinuation or what could that mean if they're meaning something different. And so it's hard for me to discern which one they're meaning. So I think I need to get assessed. It's expensive and it requires family stuff. And with my parents not noticing I was bullied until I was 25 and told them somehow, everyone else in my family saw except my dad and my mom. Yeah, I think it would be a struggle. Also, I live in an area where everyone thinks that if you have autism, you're like that, like you're like literally unable to do things. Like you are completely reliant on you cannot do things. You don't know what you're doing. Like I've been able to hold jobs, and then at a certain point I burn out and I won't leave my house for 6 months. And I like, look, have you guys ever seen me wear jeans? I'm always wearing some form of sweats or joggers or hoodies or thermals and long sleeves. I'm always wearing the same shit because it's the only shit comfortable to me. If it's not, I will constantly be doing this. And it's not even the tags. It's like the material and the seams, bro.
I got no contact with my family. I also literally live on the other side of the world. No way I'd ever get anything from them.
You know, my sister lives on the other side of the world. I'm kind of dependent on my family right now. Without them, I would still be homeless. They're the reason I was able to get into rehab and not be homeless, and I'm very grateful for that. But along with that, I've also had, well, I was in 7 rehabs, which if you think that's a lot, it's not. That's the average, which means most people who go to rehab, at least 50% of people who go to rehab go like 9 to 10, 12 times. Because if the average is 7 and a lot of people only go once or twice, that means there's a lot of people going more. I need to Google it now. Uh, how many people go to rehab more than once? Let's see what this is. Bing. It's not going to give me anything useful. I'm sorry. Okay. 40 to 60% of people that go to rehab go there more than once. Okay? Roughly 50% of them, or people entering addiction treatment, have already been at least once. The average, well, okay, while some succeed on the first attempt, studies indicate the average person in recovery makes 2 serious attempts at rehabilitation, with some needing many more. Relapse rates are 40 to 60%, and over 85% of people relapse within the first year, with most relapses occurring within the first 90 days of discharge. You know what happened the first day I got out of rehab the first time? I literally got home. I don't know how the fuck this is possible because the cops had raided the place I was living when I got arrested. And my roommate threw away half my shit when I got arrested. My dad pulled up to see all my shit being thrown away in the dumpster and he recovered what he could. And somehow, after all of that, the cops searched my whole house, right? They didn't find anything but like 0.0000, like a grain, like a little salt grain of drugs. Okay? That's what the cops found. First thing I see when I get out of rehab is I go downstairs and I open all my art drawers in the other room, ain't it? I open one of my art drawer, and the first thing in the art drawer is a meth pipe this big, entirely filled, like filled with like 7 to 8 months of like, I don't even know what you would call it because in dabs it's reclaim. What the fuck would it? Filled with residue, but that residue is just stuff that didn't properly, like the vapor and stuff. You reuse it, and people actually resell that shit. But the point is, the first day out of rehab, the first thing I found was a rock this big sitting on my bathroom counter in my parents' basement, and a pipe this big. The first thing, literally, that I unpacked put my bags down, and I went to go find some of my old stuff. And the first thing I found was that. And I'm like, I was looking for like my Pokemon cards and books, you know? But the average is 7 times, and it's kind of insane that it's 7 times. And the amount of people that I know, like most people, they say it's a choice. Almost every single person I know that was a dope head started or was given drugs or laced weed when we were kids. I was 15 and I was given fucking a dope pipe by a 40-year-old man. And had I known the actual consequences, like my brain wasn't fully developed. I was 15, with a learning disability I didn't know about at the time. I know I have a speech impediment, but the whole point of that is like I don't think like even if yes, technically I did have a choice to not smoke the drugs, but my first experience with it was laced weed, and then I had to confront the guy because I was like, "What is up with this? What's?" And luckily he was honest with me, and even though I had a choice to not do it or do it, it's not like I really had the choice or even knowledge of what that really would entail for my life at that time. And and so when people say drug addicts, well, it's a choice and everything, I'm like, yeah, to some extent. If you're 40 years old and you start smoking meth, you're kind of stupid because you've seen for 40 years what it does to people, and you still chose to do it. I was 15 with barely a clue of what it did to people, not knowing I was smoking it. And then I was like, this guy's weed is the only weed that helps, like, makes me feel high. Why is that? I had to confront the guy. Oh, it turns out I wasn't smoking. Well, I was smoking weed, but that's not the reason I was getting high from it. And so I have a big issue when people say addiction's a choice. And ODDs being the most common misdiagnosis of ASD, with me having ADHD, which is on the spectrum, I think I should get assessed. I think just I should, but it's expensive and it requires family, like parental, talking about your childhood. They weren't paying attention enough to realize I was bullied despite the first thing my brother said when I mentioned that to them being, well, no shit. That's literally, my brother literally went, what? No shit, you were bullied. Like, and I was like, thank you. And I know it sounds weird to say thank you to that, but like, genuinely, it made me feel so much more sane that at least somebody was like, because I thought I was going crazy for a year or two. My dad was like, you weren't bullied. You had all these friends. I'm like, Dad, all my friends you set me up with and bullied me. Like, I wanted to stay at home and play games and read books. And I used to build board games for fun. I would write every year, I don't know if they still do this, but every year when I was growing up, across the nation, they would have like a summer writing camp thing. But it's not just like any camp. You have to win a competition to get into this camp. And it's like a class of like 10 to 20 people and out of every state. It happened in every state. Every single year I won and got into that shit. So when people say I don't know how to write, nah, some people don't understand that comment sections and YouTubes and like in Twitch chat's a great example too. I'm not expect nobody should be expecting perfect perfect grammar as if you were writing a book or an essay in any sort of comment section at all, because it's a conversational dialect that like it's a conversation. Have you ever had a conversation in your life that's been extremely proper grammar? Because if that would drive me nuts. Like that's why people have issues with grammar Nazis, is because they nitpick on shit that doesn't matter. Like if you misspell a word like interpretation, but you have the R and the E flipped around, a grammar Nazi is gonna come in and be like, "You spelled that word wrong. You're stupid." It's like, excuse me, if you can't just see that, oh, I made a spelling mistake while typing out this whole paragraph of like why I think this, why I see your side, but I think we're just coming at it from different angles. And the one thing you nitpick on is one letter's in the wrong spot. First off, you have no point and nothing to come back with. And second off, you're just being a dick. To expect perfectly properly typed grammar is so weird when like I imagine being at a bar and everybody like, well, me and my friend Timothy. Wait, nope, see, that's already wrong. You see, Timothy and I, we were walking in the prairie. And when we were walking in the prairie, like imagine if everybody spoke actually properly grammatically correct English all the time. I feel like everybody would get annoyed by that. So when people nitpick about it in comment sections, like you realize there's different rules. Like someone, and let me type some out real quick because like this bugs me all the time online. It's called start capitalization, and it's where every word in oh, I fucked up, in a sentence is typed like this.
Manismex 710
People will
says,
say
start
that
capitalization
people
and
get
it's
mad
where
at
every
you for
word in a
that. People
sentence
don't
is typed
understand
like
that
this.
that's a grammatically correct way to type, and that there's different forms of grammar used for different things you're doing. Like but yeah, we've gotten so off track. Let's get back to the game. My whole point was Ben said pretty much, but oh, I didn't finish the war thing. So the war thing is the craziest thing. This is what. First off, my friend, she got blown up. She was in a Humvee in Afghanistan. An IED went off. She got blown up. She looks like perfectly fine, but at any moment, because she has nerve damage to the point where like I would go over to her house and help her hang laundry all the time, and just her like hanging laundry, she'd fucking just don't fall on the ground, and I'd have to help get her up and help walk her over to sit down and everything. But because she looks perfectly fine, like everybody talked shit about it. Everybody acted like she wasn't really disabled, and it drove me nuts. And the reason I was talking about disability is because I was saying how ADHD, while it's not like generally respected as a learning disability, it is in every way a learning disability. So I went through all of school without knowing I had a learning disability, without getting any help or any tutor, despite me asking for one, or medication. And when I was 18, I found out I was diagnosed at 7, and one of the diagnoses was ODD. So I think half my life, my parents thought I was a manipulative, maliciously defiant child